Hello and welcome once again to the Big Ideas Theater here at AARC. I'm your host, Ed Heiland. You know, during your time here at Congress, no doubt you've heard just a little bit about the American Respiratory Care Foundation, and we're going to go right to the source and learn a little bit more about the foundation from the chair, Michael Amato. Mike, thanks so much for coming by and joining us.
Thank you for having me, Ed.
Let's talk a little bit, first of all, about your tenure. How long have you been chair? How long have you been on the Board of Trustees?
Well, on the Board of Trustees for, I think, 28 years. I have been chair for, I think this is my 25th year. So I'm not sure whether or not it's because nobody wants the job or because they all love me.
You must be doing something right.
Well, I love what we do, and it is the foundation and the role of the foundation for the association, to me, is really a labor of love. I think what we try to do, what our mission is obviously to enhance the profession through education, through science, through research. And having been on the board for as long as I have been, the interesting thing is we have taken some baby steps, and we've taken some walking steps, and over the last couple of years we've now started to trot. I'm proud of what we've done. We just finished our third fundraiser event. And if you'd have told me 5 years ago that we could have, I think I was told we had somewhere around 375 people at the fundraiser. If you'd have told me 5 years ago that we could get 375 people and that we would realize, I think what's going to come to be more than $50,000 for the evening to go to the foundation, I would have said that would have been a dream come true.
You've seen tremendous growth, because we were having this conversation at the fundraising dinner, and your numbers have doubled in the fundraising dinner. The dollars have doubled. You've got a solid sponsor for the foundation dinner. It seems like things are well positioned, and you're able to do so much more for the respiratory therapy industry as a whole in this organization.
You know, again, Ed, I always tell the rank and file, the membership, that when I speak about the foundation, it's not my foundation, it's their foundation. So everything that they put in really comes back to them in some shape, manner, or form. Obviously, if you attended the opening ceremonies, you saw the number of awards that were given out. And, you know, that takes money. But more important, you know, what we're trying to, as we move forward into the future, what we want to do, because obviously I hate to say it, but you and I both have this white stuff in our hair.
Experience, we call it.
It is experience, but it's also a long road. And I'd like to think that we can leave the foundation much better in the future than what it is now. But the other thing that is important to the foundation is a lot of the leadership, a lot of the shakers and the movers within research and education, we're all about the same age. And at some point, we're all going to say, you know what, it's time for us to sit in that rocking chair and kind of look back and become the old sage of the profession. So you want to leave the profession in good hands, but you also want to mentor the new shakers and movers. And one of the ways we want to do that is to be able to say to a postgraduate student that we can fund that student through their master's program or their PhD program. Now, obviously, that takes a lot of money. And I think we're coming close to being able to do that to a student. I'd like to think that in the next couple of years, we can move from one student to another, to a second student. And obviously continue that, because what we need to do is to make sure that there are the shakers and the movers in education, in research, and in science that are going to be here for the next 30 years. So the foundation has had to evolve.
Well, it takes money, as you mentioned. It takes mentors, as you also mentioned. Maybe it helps if you explain how you're so dedicated. I mean, you've been doing it for a long time. Why are you personally so dedicated to this?
You know, my wife was a respiratory therapist. And as I got into the field, into the business side of it, I recognize that what respiratory therapists do is so very important. Patient care is, to me, the ultimate. And I believe that respiratory therapists are the only ones capable of providing that kind of bedside care. So I'm a big advocate. I've always been a big advocate of the association, but more important, I've been a big advocate of respiratory therapists. So my passion comes from trying to make certain that this association not only is strong today, but strong tomorrow.
With the time we have left, which is only a couple seconds, just give us an idea of what you see for the future. Where would you like to go? You've taken it pretty far so far.
I now set a goal that we would like, instead of saying we've got $50,000 on that one evening, is to say we've got $100,000. My goal is to say that instead of having 375 people, we're going to have 500 or 600 people. And I think that's attainable.
And we look forward to seeing that. Michael Amato, ARCF, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ed.
And this is the Big Ideas Theater, a man with big ideas right here. Thanks for joining us.